Our journey begins in the center of a transformation that's bigger than anything we've seen before. It's not just about faster phones, smarter apps, or new gadgets. What's happening here is a full-scale technological revolution that's changing the very structure of daily life. And to really understand it, you have to step inside China, not to see the factories of yesterday, but the laboratories, research hubs, and megacities of today. This is where the future is being engineered at lightning speed. Walking through these streets, the question isn't whether progress is happening. The real question is, how fast are they moving, and how close are they to overtaking the giants who once seemed untouchable in the West? This is Shenzhen, and it doesn't look like the world you thought you knew. Just a few decades ago, this was a small fishing town on the southern coast. Today, it's a futuristic city that feels like it leapt out of tomorrow. Glass skyscrapers tower above streets buzzing with electric vehicles, drones, and innovation centers. People call it the Silicon Valley of the East, but it feels like more than that. Here, ideas don't just stay in notebooks or on drawing boards. They become real. They get manufactured, tested, improved, and scaled. Walking through this city, you feel an energy that can only come from constant creation. It's alive, electric, and it's fueling the next leap in human progress. One company born here tells the story perfectly. It's called BYD. Back in 1995, the company started in the most humble way possible, in a tiny apartment, making nothing more than batteries. When they announced they would someday build cars, people laughed. The idea seemed ridiculous. How could a battery company from China compete with global giants? But those early doubts are now part of history. Last year, BYD outsold Tesla, becoming the largest electric vehicle maker in the world. What started as a small local business is now a symbol of national ambition, proof of what can happen when determination meets innovation on a massive scale. The secret weapon behind their rise is something that looks simple but is revolutionary: the Blade battery. On the surface, it's just a lithium iron phosphate battery. But its design is the key. Shaped like a sword, slim yet powerful, it's safer and more efficient than most batteries on the market. This single innovation changed the game, making BYD vehicles not only cheaper to produce but also safer to drive. While other companies were still promising breakthroughs, BYD was already delivering them, one battery at a time. It's no exaggeration to say that this technology became the heartbeat of their success, pumping energy into millions of cars around the world. Stepping inside their mega factories feels like walking into another dimension. The scale is almost impossible to process. These production lines are not just busy, they're monumental. Every minute, a brand new car rolls off the line. That's about 1,400 vehicles a day, ready to hit the global market. What's most striking is how little human labor you see. Robots dominate the floor. Machines weld, assemble, paint, and even inspect quality with precision that seems almost artistic. Human workers are there, but they're few and far between, mostly supervising the dance of automation. The whole process feels less like a factory and more like a symphony where metal and machines play in perfect harmony. When you step back out into the streets of Shenzhen, the results of this industrial revolution are obvious. Look closely at the license plates. Green plates mark electric cars, blue plates mark gasoline. And everywhere you look, it's green, green, green. Nearly every car is electric. The air feels cleaner, the streets quieter. In some ways, it feels like San Francisco, but safer, more orderly, more futuristic. There's little visible homelessness, crime rates are lower, and the entire city feels like a prototype of what an electrified society could look like if built from the ground up. It doesn't feel like visiting another country. It feels like stepping 20 years into the future. And the future doesn't just drive, it flies. Ordering a coffee here is nothing like what you're used to. Tap an app on your phone, wait a few minutes, and suddenly a drone appears above, lowering your drink directly onto a rooftop landing pad. This isn't a futuristic experiment, it's a service people use daily. On the roads, autonomous cars navigate without drivers. You hail one with your phone, climb inside, and it takes you across town with no human at the wheel. It's convenient, it's efficient, but it also raises unsettling questions. If a machine makes a mistake, who's responsible? Who do you hold accountable when no one is driving? Convenience is built into every part of life here. Forget swiping a card or pulling out cash. You can pay for groceries with your face, your palm, or a quick scan on WeChat. In hotels, robots deliver your room service meals, calling elevators and navigating hallways without help. And the strangest part? None of this feels experimental. It's not a preview of what's to come. It's daily life. For locals, this isn't surprising anymore. For visitors, it feels like a glimpse of a world that's only just beginning to unfold. Travel a little further, and you arrive in Hangzhou, a city with ancient roots but a very modern heartbeat. Known for its beauty and history, today it's also home to Unitree Robotics, one of the leaders in advanced humanoid technology. Here, we came face to face with the G1, a humanoid robot unlike anything we'd seen before. Its movements were so fluid, so natural, that it stopped feeling like a machine. Watching it walk, bend, and react, you couldn't shake the feeling that you were staring at something pulled straight from a science fiction movie, except this was real, right in front of us. We took this $16,000 robot for a walk through the streets to see how people reacted. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Shock, curiosity, amazement, everywhere we went, heads turned. For now, the G1 is marketed mainly to developers, research labs, and universities, but the bigger vision is clear. The creators see a future where robots like this become part of ordinary households, serving as assistants, companions, maybe even family helpers. At one point, we even brought the robot into a cafe. Imagine a future where your robotic companion sits with you for coffee. In that moment, the boundary between human and machine felt thinner than ever. In northern China, we visited one of the most secretive facilities in this entire industry, EX Robots. Their mission goes beyond building machines that move. They're building androids that look and feel human. With silicone skin, carefully crafted facial details, and eyes that seem almost alive, these robots are startlingly realistic. Walking into their lab feels less like entering a research center and more like stepping onto the set of a futuristic movie. It becomes difficult to tell at a glance who's real and who isn't. That's how advanced they are. The vision of this company is as bold as their creations. They don't just want robots for industrial work. They see them as part of the social world of the future, teaching children in classrooms, assisting doctors in surgeries, or caring for the elderly in hospitals. In one room, we even watched a robot assembling parts of another robot. The implications are staggering. This isn't just about technology anymore. It's about the possibility of creating a new form of existence, artificial beings that don't just mimic us, but begin to live alongside us. What makes it even more astonishing is the intelligence driving these machines. These aren't lifeless puppets. They can hold conversations, crack jokes, even tease. One robot casually threw a playful remark about Elon Musk, and for a moment you forgot you were talking to lines of code. The interaction felt human. That's the true goal here, not only to replicate how we move, but to replicate how we think, react, and connect. A machine that doesn't just function, but relates. And that's a frontier with consequences we're only beginning to grasp. Standing there, you can't help but think about the bigger picture. While much of the world was distracted by wars, politics, and internal struggles, China was quietly investing billions into this exact future. They weren't rushing. They were building slowly, methodically, with long-term plans stretching decades ahead. And now, those plans are becoming reality. What we're seeing isn't luck. It's the product of patience, strategy, and relentless focus on technological dominance. History teaches us that no empire holds the crown forever. Britain once ruled the world, but its influence eventually faded. America rose to global power, but now even its position feels less certain. The next great shift in global leadership isn't happening on battlefields. It's happening here, in laboratories, in automated factories, in futuristic cities that operate like previews of the world to come. The real question isn't whether China is rising. It's whether the rest of the world is ready for what happens when they've already arrived.